Hey guys, my name's Sarah and today I'm going to give you a quick how-to on how to clone your tomato plant. Cloning your tomato plants is a super quick and easy way to propagate tomatoes and get more from just one plant. Here I have a really big branch. This is actually a sucker that got away from me on one of my tomato plants. I didn't stake it in time and so it broke off. This one actually is quite big for cloning. I would actually suggest cloning ones that are even smaller. Branch, main stem, and sucker, and I'm gonna give a nice clean cut. There. So here's my sucker. Even this one is kind of big, but you could totally do it. Then what you're going to do is just cut off the bottom few branches so you have a nice tall stem, and stick that in water and in a window and give it like a week. It will start to root on the bottom and you can then just plant it in the ground and you're good to go. I'm gonna do it with the rest of this one so you can see it's been in water. Now I didn't change the water enough so the bottom's yucky, so I'm just gonna cut that off, but you can see that there's some roots growing. So now let's put it in the ground. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen up the soil a little bit with my little hand rake, and then I'm going to water the soil really good so it's good and wet, and then I'm going to dig a deep hole, as deep as I possibly can. Now I'm going to trim off the bottom branches so that we have a nice long stem. Looks good to me. And we're going to put it in the hole and then we're going to stake it. And I'm just using twine to attach it. And now I'm gonna go and just make sure there's no little suckers on it, which there are tons. And if you got your clone purposefully and not from an accident like mine, you probably won't have any clones because it won't be this big. Another thing you can do if you can't dig that deep of a hole, or if you just want extra roots just because you can, is mound up dirt around the base of the plant as high as you can, and that will also give it more area to grow roots. So I'm just going to show you on one of my other tomato plants a sucker that would be a really good size to do cloning purposefully. So right here, here's the main stem. This is the branch and this is the sucker. Now because it is pretty significant, I'm not going to just snap it off with my fingers. I'm going to use my pruners to make sure I have a nice clean cut, because you don't want to risk getting any sort of bacteria infection in the parent plant or your new sucker. So we're going to snip him off. And this is the sucker. So then I would go probably snap off this bottom one. So this is what I'm talking about. You really, really, really don't want that to happen. If you were doing this, that would be a really bad thing, and I wouldn't recommend putting that plant in water. Put that guy in the compost and find a different one. If I had snipped it with my snips, it would have been fine. So that's it. There's a super, super quick how to clone your tomato plants. If you successfully clone your tomato plant, I would love to see how you do. So take a picture and tag me on Instagram, and let's look at the tomato plant we've now cloned. So this plant, because it was so mature, it might not take off. It may not work. It's better to start them younger, but it also might. We don't know. So we will have to wait and see. Alright guys, well, that's it. It's that easy. If this was helpful to you, I'd really appreciate it if you liked my video and subscribed to my channel. As always, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope your garden looks absolutely beautiful, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye!